Everybody, so I'm finally making the part 2 to my industrial books. The first part was essential readings, like what you should start with first, to really get a good grasp on like understanding the genre and the core players and just all the craziness that goes with it. Yeah, there's quite a few books. I mean, and I've read most of them. Some of them, like I'll show you at the end of the list, I don't have or own, but I still want to include them because they are something I myself am interested in after research, and I think other people should check it out as well. But yeah, here's some more books. Some of them are written by the actual artists. So, what are we listening to now? It's actually an album I bought off of Bandcamp. It is called Unnamed Terra by Miriam Servan. Just really excellent, dark, ambient, drone stuff. I'll link it down below. Like, her stuff is great. But yeah, let's start. Let's see, so yeah, this is an episode for further reading, so just more books on industrial music and the artists. So, this is a popular series about a lot of famous albums, and of course they did one for Throbbing Gristle. This is the 33 and the third book series, and this is for 20 jazz funk greats. And what's also cool about this edition in the series is that it's written by Drew Daniel. And if you don't know who Drew Daniel is, he is the second half in Matmos. Matmos being an incredibly amazing experimental husband and husband duo. Just been doing great electronic stuff forever. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. There's actually a really excellent podcast they have done with the Needle Drop. And I'll link that below, just like get an idea like how crazy they are. They're the ones that made that whole album, like, based off their washing machine, but it's great experimental electronic stuff. I don't know, they're nuts. But yeah, this series just kind of covers, like, people's personal feelings and relations with the album, as well as, like, the history of the album. And this one is great and really well written. This is one of my favorite ones in the series. Even though I haven't read too many, but, I mean, I'm probably biased too, just because, you know, I love Throbbing Gristle, and I love this album. Again, this is for 20 jazz funk greats, and this one isn't too hard to find. I bought this one right off of Amazon, but I know like a lot of record stores too sometimes carry this series. But yeah, definitely, you know, it's short, it's sweet, it's got a lot of history and like how people felt about the album at the time, because he was around when this album dropped, and like how everybody felt about it. So yeah, that is really great stuff. So yeah, definitely want to check that out. This one's a classic. I mean, it's more if you're really into the ramblings of like a madman, but yeah. So this is No by Boyd Rice. I felt I had to include this on the list because, I mean, Boyd Rice, very controversial figure, very crazy figure. I don't have all day to talk about him. Maybe someday I'll make a video on old Boyd Rice, and then you can have it taken down or whatever, or yell at me. But yeah, Boyd Rice is the artist behind the group, or not group, but the project Non, which is actually only one letter away from No, N-O-N. In my opinion, really excellent stuff. I mean, no matter what you feel about him, how nutsoid or crazy you think he is and all that, he's just a really good noise artist too, at the end of the day. I love his stuff. But yeah, this is kind of like just his memoir of sorts. And it's just kind of nuts, and he just talks about nuts, and who knows how unreliable narrator he is. But either way, I mean, you know, it's industrial-esque, it's crazy, it's surreal, it's fun, it's Boyd Rice. So yeah, I would check this out. This is No. Alright, this one I've shown before, but this is definitely worth checking out again, or reading. This is the tape delay book. This features, again, lots of artists from the industrial scene and just talking more about them and with them in interviews and stuff. Like I said, it's got like Mark Almond, New Order, Psychick TV, Boyd Rice, Clint Ruin, Chris Cozy, Coiled, and Boughton, Genesis, you know, Test Step, Tibet, all that stuff. So lucky I found this at Half Price Books. Again, lots of pictures. Just like I said, just more information, more interviews, more reading about all these crazy people. Yeah. And I'm glad they got, like, some of the kind of, like, the outsiders of industrial. Not really the outsiders, but, like, you have, like, the inner circle, and you have, like, people that are, like, still kind of part of the group in the scene and have collabed with them. Like, people like Mark Almond and Dave Ball, New Order, Nick Cave, you know, Lydia Lunch, people of the No Wave scene. So, yeah, this book covers some of that. Definitely worth reading and checking out. Very cool. This is Tape Delay. By Charles Neal. It was put up by Saf, which again, they put out the original edition of England's Hidden Reverse, I believe. I mean, like I said, I pretend like I know what I'm talking about, but you can always correct me when I'm wrong. So yeah, there is that. Alright, and of course, again, I felt like I had to mention this. Something I gotta finish reading too. This is my favorite gifts I ever got. This is the Psychic Bible, of course, of Genesis, Breyer, P-Orridge, and the Third Mind, the Temple of Psychic Youth. I put out that documentary recently on the process, but I think they really need to be focusing on the Temple of Psychic Youth. That's where the real documentary at. Just more talking to Genesis and these crazy folks. Yeah, so this is, you know, based the Bible of the crazy religion that came out of the early industrial scene that even, like, young, you know, Jeff and Sleazy are part of and all that jazz. Just crazy, crazy stuff. You know, where Psyche TV came from. And, again, more ramblings from mad people, but the print is really nice in here. There's, like, different colored print. It's just really quality. And, of course, put up by Feral House, so... And it's thick. And of course, the last one I own that I'll be sharing to check out is the Industrial Revolution. Ooh, so shiny. This comes with like a CD too, I think, a compilation. I actually knew about the compilation for a long time. I didn't know there was a book, and I found it, and it's so worth finding out, and it's just wicked cool. It's a lot like the last book I'll be discussing at the end of this video, which I probably should have put in with the essentials, but you'll see. Of course, here is the back. Very cool. And I think the weirdest thing about this is that, like, Cleopatra put this out. Now, if anyone was a young goth growing up in the 90s, you know all about Cleopatra records. You know, I still enjoy some of the stuff they put out. Like, I still love Switchblade Symphony and certain things, but I'm surprised they put this out, because they're not really, like, industrial. They're just, like, crazy goth people. But, yeah, again, tons of photos and interviews. I mean, you got everyone here. There's a great introduction. I mean, you got stuff on... Of course, you got to start with, like, Stockhausen, obviously. Leo Tabman. They talk a little about, like, Devo, Kraftwerk, Henry Cow. Then let's see, Boyd Rice, Lou Reed, David Bowie. Let's see, SBK, Cabaret, Voltaire, Public Image, Human League, Suicide, Ministry, KMFDM, Psychic, you know, it's, you name it. There's stuff about Amon Duel in here. I mean, they get great front 242 picture. The photos in here are great. I mean, I live for industrial photography. Whenever I see somebody wearing sunglasses, it's like, oh man, are they about to drop the hot new industrial album? This is Jen, Psychic TV. But yeah, this is a nice, fun book. We got some bands that I feel like people forget about, like, exist for industrial, so you'll remember it. Oh, you got the legendary Pink Dots. Of course you do. I'm kind of surprised. Maybe there is, and I don't know, but how is there not just a book literally on legendary Pink Dots? Or like a documentary movie, I don't know. I could go on all day about, like, things that need documentaries. Like, where's the one on Triple R Records, or Records, RRR Records? Oh, my man, Sleep Chamber. But yeah, really cool stuff. Good for any, industrial book collection thing to check out. But yeah, those are what I own. Definitely check those out. And now I'm gonna show you some books I don't own, but I also suggest. So let's go to that part of the video. Alright, now I'm going to discuss some of the books that I don't own, but I would suggest for further industrial reading. And some of these are a bit rare, hard to find, or just kind of expensive, unfortunately, but I'm still always looking, or I just haven't gotten around to buying them. But yeah, so the first one I will discuss is called A Bang, a Whimper, and a Beat, Industrial Music and Dystopia by Karen Collins. And this one came out in 2012, and I haven't read this one, but I do believe, from what it says on Amazon, it's an academic exploration of industrial music cultures, a peroration of the dystopian aesthetic. You know, I've seen some reviews of this, and this is definitely right up anyone's alley to check out. So yeah, I will be looking for that. I think I've only seen it on like Kindle for Amazon, or the actual like hard copy is a little bit rare to find, so good luck for anyone finding it. The next one will be Industrial Evolution, Through the 80s of Cabaret Voltaire by Mick. And this came out in 2002, and this is just a book kind of talking about Cabaret Voltaire, and the title says it all, really. Through the 80s of Cabaret Voltaire. It's kind of a lot like what they talk about in like the BBC documentary, Sith Britannia. It's a lot like that, but you know, in book form, and it's got way more details and all kinds of stuff, and just like the marketing and the record labels and all that, you know, fun stuff. Especially the marketing, it really focuses on, like, the struggle of, you know, being one of the OG industrial groups. Next book we have is Interrogation Machine, Laibach and NSK. So, again, this is a book that mainly focuses on Laibach and NSK, which the relationship between Laibach and NSK is kind of like Throbbing Gristle and Coombe Transmissions. They're definitely a group that came forth this art performance movement, very politically charged, very avant-garde, and totally something anyone in industrial should totally check out. Excellent book. This one you can find easily, and it's not too bad for a newer book you can still get. But yeah, definitely check it out. This one is by Alexei, Monroe, and I think this came out in 2005. And of course, the Industrial Culture Handbook by Vale and Andrea Juno. Part of the RE Search Legendary Zines. They're basically like book zines. I mean, this is where it all started. It's essential. I should have put this in my essential industrial reading, but you know, this covers everything. Surreal Research Laboratories, Monte Casaza, Joanna Wins, RNN, Zev, all of these, and just like all the esoteric, edgy, crazy writing about industrials, all in this like big thick zine. I mean, that's what it is. It's the Industrial Culture Handbook. I mean, look at that cover. That is purely the aesthetic we are after. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you check out some of these books. Everything I suggested will be really good, especially if you are into industrial music. And I hope soon to have one about power electronics and noise, and neofolk, and just electronic music in general. There are so many books, and many of them I have read, that are wicked good. But yeah, again, thank you for watching.